What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami, and today we're bringing Toxic Masculinity back to Chivalry 2 in the form of the two-handed hammer. I absolutely love this one because the blunt damage on knights is crazy and it's very quick. The only issue you'll get is hit stop as we kill someone AFK here, and you could avoid that hit stop by just heavy swinging. And a good strategy you can do with this thing is to go into crowds, look for a counter, and then heavy swing through a lot of people. So if countering slashes is something that comes easy to you, there's usually some guy out there in a crowd that's going to feed you one. So you just heavy swing through the entire team, and if they got a lot of knights on there, you're going to be topping the scoreboard in no time. And you could do the same kind of thing on heavy mace. I don't necessarily know if it's the optimal way to play these weapons, but that's how I do it. And here, this drove me up a wall. Out in the open with no cover against two warbows, we just get Boromired. But it's okay because then we're going to respawn, chase him down maniacally with the whole team at our back, special attack him, laugh, kick his corpse, then teabag him. But we actually noticed there's an AFK guy in the bushes. That was very strange. Interesting little part there. So yeah, the archers deserve all the hate they get. If you're a little new here, we don't mind trolling them. They're fair game. We're nice to everyone else. But we got to reform those legless fanboys, as my friend Seasick Khan always puts it. The thought process here is to cut off the bridge and use that fire pot. There's only one guy, and it's the archer we teabagged. So this guy means business with the battle axe. He's not hesitating. He's going right after everyone. And I'm being very cautious of the archer because I teabagged him. He's probably going to go after me as soon as I turn that corner. And I get burned by that guy throwing the battle axe. Absolute Chad move by that guy. You'll love to see him kill two people that quickly. And then he just turns around, throws the battle axe. In a world full of archers and spear mains, I want you guys to be more like him. That guy's name was Crump. Awesome play by him. I've seen people fall off this ledge before when they're trying to cut the corner, but not two people, so we have to laugh at them. So if you're keeping track, that is our third AFK guy. So I'm going to check the scoreboard. It seemed like they were pretty outmatched. The kills were very lopsided early. So after we get in this fight, we make the decision we're going to switch to defense. There you go, nice knowing you attackers as we make the change. It's honestly not a big deal, I don't mind because I have been vibing with this Teutonic helmet. I usually go with the helmetless look, but I've been liking that little horn thing on it, so it's pretty cool. And I feel like it goes well when you're using a very menacing weapon like the two-handed hammer because you just look like a giant juggernaut of the battlefield. And our team is dying so quickly, I don't think it's even their fault that a lot of them haven't respawned yet. So we're trying to hold them off until that spawn wave does come, but someone gets us with a nice overhead to overhead feint, and that'll do that. There's really not any bad attacks on this weapon. That overhead was really good. It just doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses other than the fact that the heavy mace just completely outclasses it. It fills the same role but with a better stab, I believe it is, and I think you get less stamina drain. Something like on block, so something like that. But two-handed hammer, cooler skins. You guys have heard me say this. You look good, you play good. Right here is a really good example of just how much damage this thing can do in a crowd with those heavy swings, especially when there's a lot of knights. And here's another example of it, right? So someone gives us an easy slash counter, we're going to do it through a bunch of people and ignore that hit stop with that mechanic. They did end up finishing the boat while I was respawning, so now we're going to defend the gate. This is another place where the two-handed hammer or the heavy mace can shine with what I was talking about, but you really can't be hiding. You got to be in the front line so you're not hurting your teammates. Nice special attack there. That was a good hit. This isn't my team's fault, but this is how I knew they really were trying, and it wasn't one of those examples where no one's doing the objective. is there's no place for them to be but on the gate, and they're just dying so much quicker than the other team that anytime I would go back even to heal, it looked like they were just pushing up so much. So that's kind of when it's a good time to switch for me when I have a factor on these games, because I don't want newer players to think like it's just hopeless, you're always going to lose on a defense. You could definitely come out with wins if you have enough people trying, and there's not a lot of switching going on. I know Torn Banner does really mess you over sometimes with just the teams being messed up from the beginning, but without calling out names, people did switch in this one, so that's why I thought it was a good call to go over there. Now you can see again what I'm saying. There's just no one alive to even stop them. They have like all these barrels. They're going hard at it. And I decide I'm going to kill a few guys with me until that explosion goes off. So that's why I'm just rushing in, doing that thing in crowds, getting a fight with the Invisible Man, and then we blow up. Now he thinks I ran away, but I didn't hear no bell. I'm just getting my two-handed hammer out, and then he does kind of make the mistake of turning his back on me, and we get a stab in. It's funny, this stage is just so weird to me because I never know if I should even bother defending the relics, because I have played this game since release and I've never once seen it end here. Like, I've seen some weird ones, but this is the one, and I think the Siege of Redhelm Burn the Tents are the only two that I haven't seen. I have zero clue how I survived this sequence coming up. So we're completely surrounded. There's a lot of people around. I'm doing my best, trying to stay alive. Some keep going because they just assume I'm going to die. We get like about 4 kills, I'd say. And now we're going to run back. And instead, I think on my feet and hide in this bush. And only one guy sees me. But we have enough room to heal before he can get over there. And he's not expecting me to finish the heal that quickly. We get some overheads on him. And we made it. I was flabbergasted. I don't even know if I've used that word before, but I just was kind of speechless. Pretty funny moment. Just a lot of plot armor, but also some quick thinking too. As they're pushing up closer, I'm thinking I need to stay alive because my team really is relying on me as I have the most killing power, and there's not really anyone close to me just by nature of being a high level and them being lower levels. So I really do want to stay alive and be that last line of defense, but I get impatient and I go up a little bit. It does work out though. I get a lot of kills despite them being some vanguards, not all knights. And now it's just falling apart a little bit, so we're kind of hanging on for dear life at this point, pinned all the way back at the door. We're gonna hype the boys up because they're doing a great job, and we just want to improve morale for this last push potentially to try and seal this win. After getting my PTSD triggered to World of Warcraft raids and stepping in the fire too much, I'm going to rush back to defend the church because that really did mess us over and be standing in that, because now they're about to break it down. I'm going to give a last-ditch effort, see if I can try and do it, but I'm unable to. With just 10 seconds left, they got it. Now it's going to come down to this. You always want to look above to make sure those chandeliers haven't fallen yet, or make sure they have fallen, I should say. And I never really use them to get kills, but I try and look out for them. Usually someone will knock them down like right in the beginning, but this time they were up for a little bit. So it's just something you got to keep your eye on in case that happens in your game. Now you see this guy with the pickaxe. You want to prioritize killing them on objectives like this where they need to break something, just because they get bonus damage when they're a field engineer. The true heroes of Chivalry 2, thank them for their service, but they get bonus damage against any objective where you got to break something like that. So definitely, if you see one beelining it towards the tomb, you go after them right away. I skipped ahead quite a bit just because there was a lot of healing at the bandage thing behind the tomb, and then doing it again after an archer hit me, and then I stepped in my own fire pot. But now we're back in the action. We got 2 minutes left to defend the tomb. One of the comical moments, he throws a shield, I say no, we laugh, and then we go about our ways and don't fight. Pretty funny. Brutal amount of team damage here, no excuse for that. A really nice streak there, moving through the battlefield and picking off people. But now we're going to get in this fight with a guy using a glaive. I can't die to a glaive. That would be humiliating. And this archer just keeps body blocking me. I don't know what that's about. He doesn't get the kill, of course, doesn't know how to use his weapon. This guy goes for a kick. I tell him no, because you don't want to do that against someone like me who has a lot of hours in this game. GG's a good fight though, but you'll never guess what happens next. Up above, I have a pretty cool video where I tried first person for the first time. If you guys want to check that out, I'd appreciate it, as we seal the win. And I also have a greatest hits playlist up above too as well. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.